to at least this album anyway. I'm just going off all this album because I do know that they have a lot of other albums since being around since 1993. And I actually, just funny enough, today I did receive the 2003 uh Evergrey album. I forget what it's called here now, but the one from 20 or from 2003. And quite eager to jump into that and see the contrast of 20 years basically.
I am Jason Myers from the band Icarus Witch, and you are listening to the Crash Course Metal Show, featuring Trevor Crash Knight, the next generation's voice of classic heavy metal.
What is going on, guys? I got a quick album review here for you guys, and we are going to be talking about today is the band Evergrey, and the album is A Heartless Portrait, and also known as the Orphan Testament as well.
We call out the dog. We call out the dog.
But it did come out in 2022, almost exactly 2 years ago now. It came out in May of 2022, and that is it right here. It is on Napalm Records, and as far as what the band sounds like, or what I guess subgenre category you would put them in, would be more in the progressive metal side of things, with hints of like power metal, I guess you could say, which this is actually the first album that I have or that I ever bought of Evergrey. And I hear uh, s- very little hints of power metal, but I would certainly agree with the progressive side of things when trying to put them in some kind of category, if you will. But let us jump into who the band Evergrey consists of. So you do have the creator, vocalist, and guitarist of Tom England. You have Jonas on drums. You have Rickard on keyboards. You got Johan on bass, and then Henrik on guitars as well. Evergrey has been around for a while, since what, 1993, I believe, and they are from Sweden now, which during that time, a lot of that melodic death metal style was pretty popular in Sweden at the time. And real quick too, like it seems like all subgenres of metal ever since like the early 90s, I would say, has come out of Sweden. Like, we like to talk about the new wave of traditional heavy metal or second wave of hair metal type deal, like the sleaze stuff. And then you also have bands like Evergrey coming out too. Like there is a lot of good, no matter what subgenre you're in, is coming out of Sweden. Sweden seems to be a hub, a hotspot, if you will, for bands. But as Lips told us the other day, that it's not so much of a rock and metal scene per se, like a real strong scene, but certainly a lot of bands are coming out of Sweden. But let us move on here to the album, A Heartless Portrait. So, the way I found out about this band Evergrey was they did release somewhat recently a new music video for Omnimus, and it was really good. I think I got an email from Napalm Records or something like that to check it out, or like some kind of promo email. And I was like, okay, let's see what we got here. But I was very impressed with the single there, and the music video. The production of the video was really good too. Really helped. Not that the song needs any help, but it was just a good counter or good balance between what they're trying to articulate, I guess, in the video, and just the production of it, and what the song is, and the solos as well, which is another big part of what I like of Evergrey. But yeah, so that's how I know of Evergrey, because I listened to that song Omnimus for a good bit there for a couple days, and I was like, okay, I'm just picking up this album here. This is sticking with me for more than 48 hours. So I was like, okay, it's more than worth picking up the album then, and I'm sure I'm gonna like the rest of the album. And lo and behold, I do. So let us jump into the album here and pick out some of the strong points. And there's not really many weak points either, because like most of you know, my strong suits are more on the melodic side of things of metal. Thrash, hair, sleaze, like that type of deal, traditional. But when it comes to like the modern style or just really deep into the progressive, like I do like a good amount of progressive bands and stuff, but not real deep, I would say. Power metal, I'm a big fan of power metal. So definitely Evergrey brought a good mixture, if you will, to at least this album anyway. I'm just going off all this album because I do know that they have a lot of other albums since being around since 1993. And I actually, just funny enough, today I did receive the 2003 uh, Evergrey album. I forget what it's called here now, but the one from 2003, and quite eager to jump into that and see the contrast of 20 years, basically, of the style and sound, if there is a contrast. Let us jump in here to track number one. You have "Save Us," which is a music video single off of this album. Really good, upbeat, fast song here, and I just, you really throughout the album, not so much technically on this song, I would say, but you hear England's vocals. Like he has a couple different like deliveries, and we will get to the couple of different songs that give us those examples, and it's quite good, quite impressive too. And then also too, you get some guitar work, solos in this song as well. Let you know that we are here, we can play our instruments and stuff. Because that's another thing, like with some of the not so much modern as like the last couple years, but when I think of modern, I think of like that mid teens, like 2008 to 2015 maybe, or like that kind of style of modern metal, if you will. And like there wasn't very many solos and stuff like that, as far as like the mainstream modern metal goes, and that was always lacking. That's something that I never really, one of the reasons why I couldn't really get into like the newer style of metal, that at least the mainstream stuff. And Evergrey certainly covers that, and that's a big plus for me as to why I really dig this album and all just Evergrey in general. Because as we will get to Omnimus, but the second track here, Winter Calls, it's okay. I can listen to it. It has grown on me. This is one that has a track that has kind of grown on me. After like the 20th listen, because I have listened to this album a good amount since I picked it up. It's probably been like what, 2 weeks now. I've been really digesting this album. Really good. But Winter's Call is okay. Nothing crazy. Nothing that I would recommend to somebody first. But the third track, Omnimus, which is one of the newer music video singles, and really good. You get the back and forth guitar work between both guitarists here, and in the solos, it's England's vocals are very like heartfelt in this. Like you really feel his vocals, like the emotion behind it and stuff. Really good. The lyrics overall in this out on this album, and just from what I've gathered on some of their other stuff as well, it is a little bit on the darker side of things, like more serious tones and stuff like that. So like if you're talking like more power metal or even some progressive metal stuff, like it's more uplifting style of lyric. But with Evergrey, at least with this album anyway, it's more on the serious tone of things. So very good. Each style has its place, at least in my view and what I listen to. Which we do like to be more party, more happy, more of the positive themes, but certainly has a place for serious stuff as well. And Evergrey is certainly capturing that here. And then I really like the fourth track here, Call Out the Dark. That's a really good 3-4 punch as far as track listings go. Melodic as well. Call Out the Dark. Then you got the title track, track number 5, Orphan Testament. Good. No, I mean, it's another one that's not really that I would say a top 3 track of mine, or one that I would quickly recommend to somebody. It's fine though, nonetheless. Reawakening, it's okay. Another one of those type deals. The Great Unwashed, good. I will say I do really like the guitar solo in this. I mean, and that can be said for a lot of these songs. The guitar work, going back and forth, and just in general, really good stuff. Production on this album is good as well. I just like the mix. The mix is really good. You hear everyone and everything pretty well. Nothing's really like overlapping anyone or just taking full control of, your ear attention. Uh so going on here, you got the track Heartless, which is good. It's another one of those that probably doesn't make the top 3 tracks for me, but good. It's staying on the iPod. And there's only like 2 tracks that probably aren't going to make the iPod for me. And one of those is going to be the next track, and that is Blindfolded. Just okay. Nothing is really memorable. But I will say, what comes after that, track number 10, is Wildfires. I absolutely love this song. Right up there, if not more than even Omnimus, because I really dig on Omnimus, and I listened to that back to back to back a couple times. But with Wildfires, when I heard that, like after the second or third time, it really caught on to me. And even one day when I was editing videos, I just had it on in the background. I played it like 30 straight times, and I was quite impressed with it. It's not a ballad, or it's not a like power ballad, but I guess you could talk me into saying that it is like some kind of ballad, slower tempo deal. Really, you you really hear a heart, like I said, with England's vocal delivery and like emotion in Omnimus. You get that certainly again here on this slower tempo song, on this kind of ballad, I guess. I will say ballad, but I could see someone saying I could hear the argument as it not being a ballad either. But I really dig it. Wildfires. That's one track. Omnimus and Wildfires, and I would say Call Out the Dark are the top 3 tracks of mine on here. That needs to be heard.
Hell yes.
And then Save Us, the opening track, is pretty good as well because they do have a video for that. That one's easy for you to check out as well. But yeah, I really dig this album. And the packaging is pretty good here too. It's just like a digipack type deal, no jewel case, sadly. But the artwork is really good on here, and also on the inside. And I was pretty impressed with the booklet here. It's thick, like not just as the amount of pages here, but just like the thickness of the pages themselves. Really, really like durable type paper, and just really good. I like it a lot. It seems like a good amount of time was taken to at least with the artwork and stuff like that, the presentation of all the physical things that you get along here with this. And that's why we buy physical there too, instead of digital. That's another thing that we talk about on the channel here, but I'm not going to go into that on this album review. But that's certainly a plus, for me to have it in physical form. But I was quite happy that I picked this album up. Very, very good. Napalm Records. I think Evergrey said that a new album. I know we're behind now because I think they even released an album after this one, shortly, or like a year after or so. And then now I just heard in like this year in 2024 they're going to be releasing a brand new album as well. So we're quite excited for that here, because like I said, I am slowly going through their whole discography and checking it out and like I said, I was quite impressed with this album. A Heartless Portrait, very good. I he's for especially for like a modern style sound, like I really like it now. And that's the thing. A lot of the modern stuff that you hear mainstream on the radio, I just don't dig that. But if you dig deep enough, no matter on what subgenre of metal there's always stuff that you'll like. And it's just so a good amount of options in every subgenre, even new stuff that's still being put out. Nothing is technically dead. uh in metal. It's just you don't hear a lot about it, but it doesn't get promoted like it should. But it's certainly not dead. That pretty much wraps it up, guys. I'd probably give this as of now 4 out of 5, easy. Really good, really impressive, and just excited to see the new stuff that's coming out from Evergrey, and quite excited for that. So, guys, let me know what songs that you do that you like, or even albums. If you are familiar with Evergrey, let me know what albums are some of your favorites, because I'm looking around here and trying to pick up some of the stuff, back catalog and everything. So let me know in the comments, and click the subscribe button. If you want to know about more forgotten or unknown bands, like that's what we like to bring here on the channel. Stuff that people just don't know about, or even that I don't know about, because I love learning this learning the new subgenres, like new bands from each one, stuff like that, and what they bring to the table. Just awesome. So, guys, that wraps it up here. I want to thank you for watching the Crash Course Metal Show. And guys, stay out of that collateral damage, and we will see you guys later.
Yeah, I wrote that. It's called I Want to Rock Your Body. And then in parentheses it says to the break of dawn.